When I was 5 years old, I decided I'm gonna run away from home. Let me explain before you think I had some traumatic childhood. I was born and raised in Poland, and Poland back then was heavily influenced by American culture, including the one and only Michael Jackson. When I was 5 years old, I was totally obsessed with him. I was convinced I was fluent in his language, memorized all his songs, moonwalked through the living room multiple times a day. My entire family knew that I was his #1 fan. Naturally, this led to a very ambitious plan. One morning, I put on my Michael Jackson t-shirt on. I packed my Michael Jackson poster into my Michael Jackson plastic bag. And I decided that today is the day that I'm gonna be starting something. I'm gonna go to America to see him. I almost made it to the bus stop before my mom stopped me and she said, Julia, dziecko, gdzie ty idziesz? Julia, my child, where are you going? So I said, do Ameryki, zobaczyć Michaela Jacksona. To America, to see Michael Jackson. I mean, isn't that obvious? Sadly, I didn't make it to America that day, but a seed was planted. My love for languages only grew from there. I remember when, as a little girl, I overheard my grandparents speaking in a language I could not understand. Wow, a secret language, I thought? A secret code? I want one. At that day, I have realized something profound about language. I have realized that it's not only about words, it's not only about Michael Jackson lyrics, but it's a doorway to different realities. By the time I was 10, I think my parents were so tired of my gibberish English that they decided to enroll my sister and me into a private English classes with the best sales pitch out there. They said, girls, this is your door to the world. With every class, I loved English more and more, and I understood Michael Jackson lyrics more and more. So it came time to choose a college major. It was a no-brainer to me. English studies with American accent, of course. But I knew I didn't want to learn English from the textbook anymore. I wanted to experience the language. I wanted to speak as comfortably and communicate as my grandparents used to do in German. And there was only one way to do it. When I found an organization that helped college students go to the United States, you know what I did? I packed again, this time with true essentials, and I went for America. When I arrived to Daytona Beach, Florida, everything was different. The food, the air, the expressions, the entire language, the slang, the speed. I remember when I first received a text message from a friend saying, "What are you up to?" Huh? What are you up to? I spent the entire evening with my Polish friends trying to decode this expression. What are you up to? Unsuccessfully. That time, I realized another thing about language. That language is not only grammar and vocabulary. That language is culture, it's community, and it's belonging. But when I stepped into American classroom as a teacher, I've noticed something troubling. I've noticed that a lot of my multilingual learners would be sitting in the back quietly with no opportunities to use this language, to practice this language. But not only our multilingual learners, I have also noticed that English native speaking students, they've been having challenges with expressing themselves in the academic settings. Don't get me wrong, we know they can talk. Our students can talk all day, every day, and especially during times when they're not supposed to. But when we ask them to defend an argument, to explain a complex idea, or analyze a text, they just freeze. Or their English becomes gibberish. So why is this happening? It seems like that somewhere along the way, we've lost sight of prioritizing the importance of spoken academic discourse. But you may wonder, but why does it even matter? Why does speaking in a classroom even matter? Why spoken academic discourse in the classroom even matter? Well, I have two reasons for you. Number one is that we have a big problem in 2025. People are talking to each other less than ever before. 74% of employees find casual conversations at work challenging. 40% of Gen Zs think of it as learning a new language. And our teenagers have experienced 50% decline in face-to-face interactions. But we don't even need that data to see it all around us. Instead of talking, we text. Instead of debating, we scroll, or we opt in for liking or disliking content that sometimes we don't even fully understand. But social media has replaced our real-world dialogue, and our students, they're losing the ability to engage in meaningful discussions. But it's all around us. You probably saw already your students sitting in a group, lost in their phones. And how often do we do that? The second reason is that a lot of research done in education regarding language have revealed that speaking is thinking. So it made me wonder, if our students are not speaking, are not using the academic discourse in the classroom, is it possible that they're not thinking? And if they're not thinking, how are they even learning? That is why it's our responsibility as educators to create these opportunities in our classrooms for all students, even if they are not implemented in our curriculum. So now I hope that you wonder, okay, you got me, I see your point, but how do I even teach the academic discourse in my classroom? Well, I know our room is full of educators, so how many of you have tried turn and talk? And how many of you have given up on turn and talk? Well, it's understandable, because what we normally do is we post a question on the board and we say, turn to your partner and talk. And what happens when we say go? When we say go, our multilingual learners, they just remain quiet because they don't even know where to start. Another pair in the back probably just gonna start talking about lunch because they know you're never gonna get to them. And maybe, just maybe, the pair right in front of you is gonna complete the task correctly. But what if I told you that I have something better? Welcome to Turn and Talk 2.0. Before I tell you how it works, let me just tell you that when I first implemented it, I've heard all the complaints of this world. Louise said, Ms. Bulinska, you're doing too much. Hobeth said, I'm not gonna be her partner. And Yareli just looked at me and she said, no. But what I did, I ignored it all. Let me show you what we did. Before I do that, let me tell you that Turn and Talk 2.0 is a structured dialogue. A structured dialogue where both partners know exactly what to say and when to say it. Partner A knows what to say and when, and partner B knows what to say and when. And now you're ready to see what I did. This is the first Turn and Talk 2.0 I've ever implemented it. As you can see, it's sweet and easy and short. It's just ask our students to talk about their good things. Now, this is the most recent one that I implemented, where our students had to talk actually about the evidence that they found that supported their opinion. What's extremely important about Turn and Talk 2.0 is that you are in full control of that dialogue. You decide on the tone of the conversation, on the academic language used, on everything. So take advantage of that and have fun with that. And what they do? They just follow the script so that eventually it becomes their second nature. Again, when I first implemented it, it was terrible. It was an understatement. However, by the second time, the students were already used to their partners. They already knew what's happening. By the third time, they were ready to model in front of each other. And one of my very unmotivated students, Yareli, you remember Yareli? She's became the master of it. There are 4 amazing things that are happening to our students during the Turn and Talk 2.0. 1, our students develop their critical thinking skills. 2, they improve their problem solving. 3, they strengthen their reading and writing abilities. And 4, they gain confidence in their voice, just like Yareli did. And if that doesn't convince you, at least it sounds like a great test scores to me. So now I want you all to remember that as educators, our main responsibility is to help prepare the next generation. One of our most important duties is to make sure that every student learns to use language to express their ideas, to achieve academic success, and the one closest to my heart, to resolve conflict. So I'm gonna leave you with one last question. Who is doing the talking in your classroom? Is this you, or is your students? Because whoever is doing the talking is doing the learning.